Howdy all, I am Adam, the Renaissance Nerd. Last week, I took some time to talk about Bob Iger's contract extension as Disney CEO through 2026. I spent the majority of that video reminding everybody that he is the man that lit the match, that set the fire, that is now burning Disney down on all fronts. And we're going to go over those fronts as we get deeper into this video. Point is, Disney's a disaster, and it's Bob Iger's fault. Bob Iger has a money problem. He needs to pay off certain debts. His big plan is to merge Hulu and Disney Plus into a shared app, but he still owes money on the majority purchase that they made to control Hulu. And there are other debts out there that need to be paid. So Bob Iger needs money. At the end of my video last week, I mentioned certain things were on the table and certain things weren't. Some of that has changed a little bit, and I'm going to elaborate on where I think it's going in the future. Now, as I said, we're here at Bloomberg. Bob Iger shifts from building an empire to a Disney yard sale. Let's go right to it. They talk about Netflix a little bit, but we want to talk about Bob Iger. Bob Iger shifts from building an empire to a Disney yard sale. Bob Iger built Disney into the world's most powerful entertainment company by acquiring Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. Now he's looking to downsize. Now, we have talked a lot about those purchases in videos and streams at recent. We're going to come back to these three in a moment, okay? We're going to go with the direct thing that we know is on the table here. Iger put it roughly a third of the company up for sale this week in an interview with CNBC, declaring Disney's linear TV assets non-core. Non-core being not directly related to their media growth or their plan to continue to cling to life support as an entertainment media company. That includes TV networks ABC, FX, and Freeform. He also said Disney is looking for a strategic partner. Here's the change from last week. Last week, it was adamant that ESPN was not on the table. But ESPN is melting down. They are firing people. They can't keep high-profile stars anymore, from what I understand. And bottom line, nobody's watching ESPN anymore. They just aren't. Because ESPN went from just telling you about sports and giving a lot of bad takes to now being agenda, more racism, more diversity, more inclusion. ESPN's on fire. And now, apparently, they're looking for a strategic partner. They're not going to sell the whole thing, and the company's already looking to sell or restructure its TV streaming businesses in India. That's a whole separate thing. We're not going to get into that. But there's the thing. ESPN is now on the table, not to be completely sold, but to sell a majority of its stake in it. Maybe not controlling majority, but enough that somebody else is going to have a say in how things go. That is a major change. Now, in regards to ABC, FX, and Freeform, we'll look at FX and Freeform first. FX and Freeform are cable. The article is going to go on to tell us how cable is down. Nobody's watching it. Advertisers, there's no money in it anymore. And that's true. Streaming has killed traditional television. We understand that. But when it comes to channels like FX and Freeform, originally Spike TV, way back in the day, has gone through many iterations. Once upon a time, it was ABC Family. I think it had even another name in between before it became Freeform. Freeform's a disaster of a channel. They've never known, in the entirety of existence, they've never known what to do with that channel. And that's why it's a failure. At one point, they turned it into the young adult audience channel. It's a failure. Cutting off Freeform, that's cutting off dead weight, probably a good idea. FX at one time became a premier cable channel that had a lot of high-end suspense, drama, or comedy that people were flocking to. Not so much anymore. Nobody's there anymore. FX, also probably dead weight to cut off. A lot of the long-standing series that were on FX, they're done. They're over or ending now. So FX has no real value. So, that's good to cut off. Where are you going to go with that? If nobody's watching and the sponsors aren't there, great. But ABC. Here is where I say now this is telling. ABC Network. That is network television. Everybody with a TV tuner, and TV tuners are built into the TVs now. You don't need to get bunny ears and all that shit. It's built in. You can have it scan and pick up the local networks. You're telling me, Bob Iger, that ABC is something that can reach into every household, whether it's news or sports. Remember, they bleed over from ESPN Sports onto ABC, especially during NBA playoffs and finals. Trust me, I used to watch a lot of it. I know this. ABC reaches everywhere. Once upon a time, and I use that word on purpose, that phrase on purpose, once upon a time, ABC aired The Wonderful World of Disney, which was a straight shot to pimp Disney media. They don't do that anymore. Why? Because, well, the public stopped watching, because the public got wise to your agenda-driven crap. And also, you can't get away with it. But what are you going to do now? Apparently, they're also trying to air their failing streaming shows on ABC. They're doing that a lot. Ms. Marvel coming to an ABC network near you, but nobody's going to watch it. So you could say, Adam, there's your argument. Nobody's watching the crap they put on there. But it's still a direct line to the public. And that, to me, is the red flag of failure. If you can't even get the attention to the free network, you've got a problem. You've got a very big problem, Bob Iger. Such a big problem that the stock is nearing all-time lows yet again for I think 52 week. It's nearing a 52-week low. Let's refresh it real quick, because I did that a little bit ago. No, still sinking. Still sinking. Let's look at this now. Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm. Let's go from left to right, because I want to end as you may or may not know. I like to talk a lot about the failure that is Disney Lucasfilm on this channel. Pixar, they're never going to sell Pixar, because then they would lose the rights to the old successes of Pixar, and they couldn't milk it and mine it for more money, like they're going to do and try to do with Toy Story 5 coming up soon. The MCU, Marvel Studios, they are not going to sell Marvel Studios, because that weekend at Bernie's Zombie, it's got enough life in it left to march on for another 2 to 3, 4, maybe 5 years. They're going to milk that for all it's worth. They're going to run it into the ground until it is a worthless, saggy, dried up, drooping nothing. Then they'll toss it aside, probably. But they're going to milk, because they've invested too much money into it. At the same time, that's linked to the Disney Plus thing. They've invested too much money and time into streaming. And they've linked Marvel heavily to their streaming, to the core of their streaming media empire. MCU shows all the time. Of course, maybe not all the time now. They've slowed down, and Bob Iger said he's going to slow down the MCU and Star Wars. And now you may say, Adam, they've also heavily linked Star Wars to their streaming thing. But here's the difference. Yes, the MCU as a whole hasn't made money on a movie in 2 or 3 years now, but they still squeeze some merch out of Marvel. They still get some merch. They still get some stuff out of that. It's not the same with Lucasfilm. Disney Lucasfilm hasn't made them money ever. Oh, the sequel trilogy made over $4 billion. That made back the sale. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Just like it doesn't work to say that just because Dial-Up of Destiny made $302 million worldwide, that it is now broken even. Just because you hit a number of something of its production value or what you paid for it, you haven't made a profit on it. This is retarded. This is lying. And to say that Disney, Lucasfilm, is profitable is a lie. Everything they've done since Rise of the Soy Walker. I don't know their names off the top of my head. It's all retarded crap fan fiction. Rise of the Soy Walker was a failure at the theater. Hell, it's such a failure. Jar Jar Abrams hasn't been seen in 3-4 years now? He's disappeared. That's a good thing. But what have they done since then? They dumped everything Star Wars onto Disney Plus, which, as we just said, is going to lose another $800 million this quarter, third quarter. But that's not just all there is at Lucasfilm. Indiana Jones and the Dial-Up of Destiny will lose probably between $300 and $400 million at the box office. It needed $900 million, $1 billion to break even. And it's not going to do that. It's going to lose money on top of every other movie that's going to lose money this summer. My theory was correct. Go check out my previous videos and streams where I am basically right that Disney's going to lose money this summer. Massive amounts. But here it is right here. Lucasfilm doesn't make money. Merch doesn't sell. Star Wars merch doesn't sell. Indiana Jones merch doesn't sell. Willow, everything else doesn't sell. There's no money in it. So don't tell me that somewhere they are not shopping Lucasfilm when the time comes and the desperation happens. Oh, sorry, almost forgot. Galactic Star Cruiser, billion-dollar operation, failure. Galaxy's Edge, failure. Lucasfilm doesn't make money. They're going to sell Lucasfilm first. When it comes time to sell these acquisitions of other companies that were made for their IPs, Lucasfilm will be the first to go. Mark my words. It's not going to happen now. It's not going to happen next year. It's not going to happen until after Kathleen Kennedy leaves. Once she's gone, very quickly, I believe, look to see Lucasfilm be sold to somebody else. Now, whether or not that person will be a good custodian, the custodian I hope they would be, I can't say that right now. I don't know. But what I will say is, when it comes time and the desperate times reach desperate measures and Kathleen Kennedy leaves of her own volition and is no longer attached to it in the moment, they will sell Lucasfilm because they have never made a profit on anything it produces. So Bob Iger is going to break up the empire he built, the empire that he put together that is on fire, that he started. We are watching it. I started this over a year ago now, I believe. The playlist, you can go check it out on my playlist tab, The Coming Collapse of Disney. We are here. The collapse has begun, and now it's just a matter of time to see what parts are cut off, sold off, and jettisoned. The order may differ, but the end result will be the same. Disney as a whole will survive, but it will not be this multi-armed, multi-bodied, headed monstrosity anymore. It will shrink, it will survive, but it will not have the power it once had. All right, I'm done. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would be very much appreciated. If you are new here, I invite you to check out my channel, subscribe to me right here on YouTube, or hope to earn your trust and support using facts and logic, because facts and logic do not care about whiny Stan and SJW fifis. Hit that notification button, share my videos if you like what I'm preaching. By all means, leave a comment. Love to hear from real passionate fans like you. I care what you think. I do not care what the Stans, fake fans, and SJWs have to say, because 201, they're all cowards behind keyboards. And they're just plain stupid. They're just plain stupid. And when I trigger them, it makes me happy. Thank you again for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at therarenerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos. Maybe a little shit stirring here and there. Who knows? @TheRenNerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.